Hey everyone, I'm April Joy Di Abella, a Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English student. So today I am going to report how do you promote a good school-community relationship. Teachers have a vital role in engaging in community and building a harmonious relationship with community. How do you promote a good school-community relationship? Educators work hard to develop a sense of community inside classrooms and buildings. So when we talk about sense of community, it is a feeling that members have of belonging, a belongingness between people within a relationship between community and the school. A feeling that members matters to one another and to the group. A feeling that a teacher could build within the classroom or in the community, that each individual are involved and matters and have a vital role in each and every one. So without individual, group is nothing. And a shared faith that members' needs will be met through their commitment to be together. That's why we are doing a community engagement, so that the school and the community will be having a relationship. A strong classroom culture established on day one sets the tone for the rest of the year. Yes, it's true. So when you build a relationship from day one, it will be or having a tendency that the relationship between the classroom or the teachers to the community will give a nice or harmonious relationship for the rest of the year. Community are your school, an area which can unintentionally get neglected when the school year begins. You can play a deciding role in expanding the vision of your school to include the larger community. Here are 4 ways to help build a relationship between school and community. So 4 tips for building a relationship between school and community. Number 1 is be a joiner and a connector. Number 2, build community around classrooms and the curriculum. Number 3, internet safety takes a village. Number 4, you've got to have faith. First is be a joiner and a connector. So anyone who has ever read or discussed Robert Putnam's Turn of the Millennium classic Bowling Alone knows that concerns persist over declining social capital and civic engagement in America. You can help reverse this trend. Organizations that have traditionally served as civic backbones in your community, examples are Rotary, Kiwanis, and more, desperately needs fresh blood, and they need educators. So, being a joiner and a connector, this includes teachers or educators. So here are just a few examples of how joining or being peripherally involved in community organizations has come back to benefit my schools. So I regard this as an example of how we can engage the school to the community. These examples of the be a joiner and a connector is this actually happens in real life situation internationally. So we can relate these examples here in Philippines, preferably here in Sultan Kudarat, which we can apply it in our place. First is providing support for the local Rotary, which example is the local organizations abroad for a test speech contest, or we can use here in the Philippines a competition, came back to us tenfold when they donated $1,500 to help sponsor a major student and community event. These examples suits best for students have a talent in performing or in arts or in sports that she or he have a special talent that sponsors can invest to. For examples, if you are an athlete, so the schools engage you in community, which is you showcase your talent, exchange of sponsorship or scholarship that a major student or a community event can benefit. So, sa paraan ito is makaka-benefit both ang community at saka yung school. Example of this is sponsorship sa major student na merong talent or merong skills na maipapakita or maipamamalas niya sa community. Number 2 is attending a few Kiwanis meetings per year and volunteering for the biannual pancake breakfast, resulting in donations and support for several school activities and scholarships. So the number 2 is connected to number 1. Especially Kiwanis, it is a club, is a volunteer-based organization to assist the community through charitable acts. So Kiwanis is example in the local here in the Philippines is examples the LGU, which specialize this field and helps the students or the schools and the community to develop or have a harmonious relationship. Ways says that engaging in a community which attending a local sponsorship meetings or volunteering in the community that results donations and support for several school activities and scholarships. So the school is engaging in the community so that they will gain or benefit from donations, or there are people that is interested in donating some things, or we say money, to help the students and the school activities to be on yung magawa na yung mga activities niya and maisasagawa na nila na ma-engage yon at magawa na literal. Hindi lang yung nagpaplano lang sila, kundi implement nila yung engagement nila sa community. It means parents, teachers, assembly allowed me to help connect that organization with local law enforcement to put on a major drug awareness program open to multiple local communities. So as far as I remember, PTA or the meetings of the parents and teachers are involving what they can do and contribute to the community and to the school. I remember attending on that meeting together with my parent that they talk about how they can help the community even in such a little thing. For example is in my yung dati kong paaralan nung high school pa ako is marami silang napagmitingan na mga teachers and na mga parents na plano na gagawa nila in a whole year. For example is yung Pamasko NDK. So sa NDK po ako nanggaling Notre Dame of Culaman. So ang program po na yan is para sa mga IPs or out of school youth na mag-donate ng kahit na pwedeng ibigay ng mga estudyante sa mga kapatid nating mga IPs. For example, mga goods, yung mga gamit nila, mga basic needs. And araw-araw kaming nagko-collect ng kahit tig-pipiso sa mga estudyante kung magbibigay sila. Sa mga willing lang naman. So, yun yung engaging sa community. So, ang example doon. So, sa doon pa lang, nakagawa na sila ng relationship between sa school tsaka sa community. Nakatulong sila sa isa't isa. Admittedly, the above examples may seem purely transactional, but these interactions become transformational when relationships carry over into the mission and vision of the school and or district and lead to increased collaboration. This is what I have said earlier, that if community and the school will have a collaboration, the transaction will be going to be transformed or transformational, become transformational. And the relationship will be carry over into mission and vision of the school. That leads to increase the relationship between the two. 2. Build community around classrooms and the curriculum. Community building activities in the classroom, such as buddy mentoring programs, culture building class meetings, and more, naturally linked to external community building, from interview assignments for students to conduct with family members or larger school community events. These opportunities stem directly from the curriculum. So, for example, a social studies teacher could bring in a guest speaker from the city council to speak with students about a current issue facing their community. Students could then complete a project geared towards solving that issue and present their findings to an open session of the council. Another example that happens in real life is that a middle school created an annual anti-bullying and harassment kick-off cookout complete with free food, games, face painting, and family fun activities. The kick-off event was linked to the explicit anti-bullying curriculum taught at the school. Over the years, it truly became like an annual block party. The entire neighborhood always dropped by for food and good conversation. So this one is the best example of a harmonious relationship between the community and the school, which the school did its part to create an anti-bullying and harassment program so that the students and the community would be aware of what is going on. Sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay na free food, yung games, face painting, and family fun activities, which community are involved. And the main part of the community is the family, and that is very important. Teachers should also be encouraged to grow their own personal learning networks, or PLNs, whether through the district's learning management system, LMS, or via social media. Following other educators on Twitter and sharing information and resources on Twitter chats demonstrates an open and engaged school. So, I'm familiar with this because my entire family is are an educators. So my brother and my sister is always engaging in a community. They're doing for example, that cited here is the Twitter chats. Here in the Philippines we are only familiar with Facebook. So Facebook, they're using Facebook to palaganap ng balita na sumusuporta sila sa kanilang mga department. For example, mga information tungkol sa DepEd, mga informations kung anong mga gagawin, ganon, mga all about engaging in the community. Welcome your neighborhood and community to share their ideas, and you may be pleasantly surprised. 3. Internet safety takes a village. According to Schoologist 2018 State of Digital Learning Study, a third of respondents cited internet safety as their top digital citizenship concern. The same number also stated that they do not have a formal digital citizenships program at their schools. Again, you can play a deciding role in changing this trend. Chances are your local law enforcement agency employs or knows people, detectives, social works, and etc., who specialize in cybercrime or internet crimes against children. They are invaluable resources as guest speakers. Are you familiar with School Ka Ba? Yung nagtuturo yung mga police or yung mga social works or yung mga nurse natin or mga yun na nga, social works, kung ano bang mga nangyayari sa paligid natin. And for example is yung mga rampant and is drugs, no, and crimes, so against children. So gumagawa sila ng symposium upang maging aware ang community sa mga ganoong mga bagay. They are invaluable resources as guest speakers, professionals with whom to share ideas about school district technologies policies and for when illegal activity threatens one of your students. Additionally, your local law enforcement agency probably partners with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force Program or ICAC. ICAC provides a wealth of videos and resources for educators, parents, and children alike on their website. Resources which you can share with your staff, families, and community partners on a regular basis via your communication plan and your school's learning management system. As ICAC says, the best tool we have to prevent internet crimes against children is education. So it is very important that the school or the teachers or the educators should be engaged in a community so that not only your children are going to learn, but also your family and the community. When your entire community is invested in that education, you'll have a better chance of keeping kids safe. Number 4, you've gotta have faith. Schools gotta have faith so that the spoken words will be put into actions. Do neighborhood churches meet at your school? Do you know which Boy Scout troops meet at the churches down the street? Have you ever spoken with a faith leader in a local mosque or synagogue about the unique needs and cultural expectation of families attending there? If not, go for it. Conversation builds connection and connection helps kids. Very important to us that communication and conversations must be put into action so that we have a collaboration and connection so that the kids will be helped. You are not violating the Constitution by learning about and serving a population of students in your neighborhood will notice your openness and goodwill. And lastly, start simple and get involved. The most basic thing to do is getting involved. Teachers must be diverse and educators must be involved in a community. You don't have to be elected mayor to start bringing people together, of course. It can be as simple as a September cookout or extravagant as major volunteerism and mentoring program. The key is to develop and run with a shared vision, and the only way to do that is to share yourself with others. Thank you for listening, and that's all.